The modern corporate environment is built on a rigid, unspoken architecture of rules. Whether you are traversing a London financial district or a Geneva diplomatic summit, this environment prizes stark rationality and extreme functionality above all else. Yet, the visual vocabulary of male authority in these spaces is invariably anchored by a strip of fabric suspended from the collar. To the uninitiated observer, it is an absolute anatomical anomaly. It offers zero tangible physical utility. It does not secure the trousers, it provides negligible thermal insulation, and it offers no structural support or protection from the elements. It is a purely decorative silken arrow, fastened tightly against the jugular vein. If drawn too tightly, it actively restricts respiration and physical comfort, yet it remains a universally enforced cornerstone of the professional uniform. To appear without this useless strip of fabric in the highest echelons of governance or business is frequently interpreted as a breach of decorum, a deliberate lack of respect for the institution, or an overt subversion of authority. Millions of people carefully bind their necks with this garment every single morning. The necktie is not a biological necessity, it is a profound cultural artifact. The most rational rooms on Earth are governed by an entirely irrational uniform. To understand this paradox, we have to turn toward the blood-soaked, muddy battlefields of Europe's 30 Years' War. Here, King Louis XIII of France relied heavily on foreign mercenaries, specifically highly effective light cavalrymen hailing from the military frontier of Croatia. These Croatian soldiers wore striking cloths tied tightly around their necks. Far from high fashion, these garments served life-saving practical purposes. In the bare cold of European winters, the cloth tightly insulated the neck to prevent hypothermia. During musket volleys, it could be pulled over the mouth to filter gunpowder residue. In the bloody aftermath of close-quarters combat, it was rapidly unknotted and repurposed to bind a laceration or act as an impromptu tourniquet. Adorning the neck for warfare drastically predates the 17th century. The legions of the Roman Empire utilized a garment known as the focale. This thick woolen or linen scarf was worn strictly to protect the legionary's neck from the severe abrasive chafing of their heavy metal armor plates. The utility of the mercenary neckcloth captured the fascination of the French military command, who phonetically corrupted the word Croat into the term cravat. Soon after, King Louis XIV completely did away with archaic, starched Renaissance collars. He elevated the cravat into an elaborate, lace-draped canvas crafted from imported silks, using it to project immense royal wealth and dictate European aesthetic codes. In the 19th century, English dandy Beau Brummel led a minimalist revolution. He abandoned gaudy Baroque brocades in favor of impeccably tailored dark wool. In this modern suit, Brummel insisted on pristine, highly starched white linen cravats. He elevated the tying of the knot into a high art form that demanded extreme personal discipline and hours of daily preparation. The Industrial Revolution required further streamlining, leading to the simple slip-knotted tie. Its modern structural foundation was finalized in 1924 by American tailor Jesse Langsdorff. He patented a breakthrough engineering method, cutting the fabric at a 45-degree angle, the bias cut, and constructing it in 3 separate stitched segments. This allowed the tie to drape perfectly flat and spring back into its original shape after being unknotted. Through this long morphological evolution, the necktie completely shed its physical, life-saving utility in the mud of Croatia to gain unparalleled symbolic weight in the industrialized world. The necktie's absolute grip over the modern business world is heavily bolstered by its measurable impact on human behavior. Social psychologists refer to this phenomenon as enclothed cognition, the premise that the clothing a person wears systematically and predictably influences their internal cognitive capabilities. Rigorous empirical studies show that individuals wearing formal business attire experience significant mental shifts. Putting on a suit and tie actively increases abstract thinking, boosts self-esteem, and measurably improves performance in executive, organizational, and creative tasks compared to those wearing casual clothing. This psychological impact extends directly into corporate and political strategy through deliberate chromatic messaging. The red power tie is deployed by leaders to project unyielding strength. Interestingly, recent empirical studies found that wearing a red tie versus a blue tie had absolutely no statistically significant effect on how believable or dominant an audience rated a leader. The environment of a televised speech or a corporate boardroom is so saturated with other data that isolated necktie color rarely alters objective outcomes. The tie's true power does not lie in magically manipulating the observer. Instead, it grants the wearer an internalized hormonal corporate cape of confidence, actively suppressing personal anxiety in high-stakes environments. If the modern tie is physically uncomfortable and serves no practical physical function, its persistence must be explained sociologically. The French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu proposed that society is composed of different competitive fields, like law, high finance, or international politics, each with its own specific unspoken rules and required behaviors known as the habitus. Within this framework, the tie operates purely as an institutional password. It visually communicates to the gatekeepers of power that the wearer intimately understands the rules of the game. It proves they respect the historical weight of the institution and are willingly prepared to subjugate their personal physical comfort to conform to the group's elite standards. Despite an uninterrupted 300-year reign, the necktie is currently experiencing a precipitous decline. Pioneered heavily by the technology hubs of Silicon Valley, the global workplace has undergone a rapid casualization. Billionaire founders and entry-level coders alike have increasingly abandoned the suit and tie, prioritizing physical comfort and perceived authenticity over rigid corporate hierarchy. This massive decline is also driven by severe environmental necessity. In 2005, recognizing the immense energy waste caused by running heavy air conditioning during brutal, humid Tokyo summers, the Japanese government launched the Cool Biz mandate. They ordered office thermostats raised to 28 degrees Celsius and officially encouraged the discarding of suit jackets and neckties. The campaign was a massive environmental success. It highlighted the ultimate vulnerability of the garment. Once the strict social mandate is officially removed by an authority figure, the sheer physical discomfort of the necktie renders it immediately obsolete in a modern, warming world. The historical narrative of the necktie is undeniably Eurocentric. Its global ubiquity is a direct result of European colonial administrative expansion over the centuries. This map highlights the geographic spread of global alternatives to the Western necktie, illustrating regions where the strict imposition of the business suit has been met with profound ideological resistance. In 2021, a pivotal moment occurred within the New Zealand Parliament. Rawiri Waititi, the co-leader of the Maori Party, fiercely rejected the mandatory parliamentary dress code, characterizing the Western necktie as a literal colonial noose that suppressed indigenous cultural identity. Instead, he wore the traditional greenstone hei tiki pendant to tie himself to his ancestors and his land. The ensuing global debate forced the parliament to abolish the necktie mandate. In other regions, the rejection of the tie was led directly by heads of state as a matter of national sovereignty. In 1971, Mobutu Sese Seko launched an official state ideology to rapidly purge Zaire of lingering Belgian colonial influence. He officially banned Western suits and neckties for men, mandating instead the collarless abacoste, a tunic whose name was derived directly from the French phrase, "down with the suit." Similarly, in post-independence India, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru brilliantly navigated the sartorial legacy of the British Raj. He popularized the Nehru jacket, characterized by a sharp mandarin collar that completely bypassed the need for a necktie. This allowed Indian politicians to project modern, cosmopolitan authority on the world stage without mimicking foreign British aesthetic standards. Conversely, in nations attempting to rapidly align themselves with global powers, the tie was violently enforced. Following the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, the founder of the Republic of Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, initiated sweeping secular reforms. He legally banned traditional Ottoman headdress and personally toured the deeply conservative countryside modeling a pristine necktie, using it as a state-driven tool of modernization. Today, as technology billionaires champion casual wear, Environmental policies strip away layers of wool, and indigenous leaders challenge the ghosts of colonialism. The tie's once unquestioned global dominance is visibly fracturing. Yet it remains an enduring, quiet relic of history. It is a garment where military survival transformed into a universal symbol of professionalism, permanently separating those who are willing to submit to the systems of power from those who refuse.